Welcome to Lahari Lectures. In this video, you can watch one word question and answers from question 501 to 550. Let's watch. First question, pre-order ABC, in order BAC, post order is BCA. Next question, in order BAC, post order BCA, pre-order is ABC. Next question, which traversal is easiest to implement recursively? DFS, pre-order, in order, post order. Maximum number of nodes visited in traversal of a tree with n nodes is formula n nodes visited equal to n. N is the answer. Each node of a graph is represented as vertex. Vertex is represented in the form of cycle, which is a connecting link between two vertices. Edge is a connecting link between two vertices. Edge is also known as arc. Any two nodes or vertices that are connected with an edge is called adjacent node. Total number of edges connected to a vertex is said to be degree of that vertex. Next question, the sequence of edges between two vertices is path. A graph having no edges is called null graph. A graph with only one vertex is called trivial graph. A graph contains ordered pair of vertices is called directed graph. A graph contains unordered pair of vertices is called undirected graph. In a graph, if all its vertices have the same degree is called regular graph. If a vertex is connected to all other vertices in a graph, then it is called complete graph. If the degree of each vertex in the graph is 2, then it is called cycle graph. A graph is obtained from a cycle graph by adding a new vertex is wheel graph. Next question, a graph with no loops and no parallel edges is called simple graph. A graph in which there does not exist any path between at least one pair of vertices is called disconnected graph. A graph containing at least one cycle in it is called cyclic graph. A graph not containing any cycle in it is called acyclic graph. A graph containing of finite number of vertices and edges is called finite graph. A graph consisting of infinite number of vertices and edges is called infinite graph. What is planar graph? A planar graph is a graph that we can draw in a plane such that no two edges of it cross each other. What is multigraph? A graph having no self loops but having parallel edges in it is called multigraph. What is pseudograph? A graph having no parallel edges but having self loops in it is called a pseudograph. Next question, what is Euler graph? Euler graph is a connected graph in which all the vertices are even degree. Next question, what is Hamiltonian graph? If there exists a closed walk in the connected graph that visits every vertex of the graph exactly once except starting vertex without repeating the edges, then such a graph is called as a Hamiltonian graph. Next question, graph with no cycle is called acyclic graph. Maximum number of edges in an unordered simple graph with n vertices. Edges maximum equal to n into n minus 1 by 2. In a directed graph, maximum edges are n into n minus 1. A graph in which every pair of vertices is connected is called complete graph. Sum of degree of all vertices in a graph is degree of vertices equal to 2e. Time complexity of BFS using adjacency list is the O of V plus E. Which graph has two sets of vertices and edges only between sets? Bipartite graph. Which representation is space efficient for sparse graph? Adjacency list. Space complexity of adjacency matrix is O of V square. Next question, minimum edges in a connected graph with n vertices. Edges minimum equal to n minus 1. Which algorithm finds minimum spanning tree? Prim's-Kruskal. In adjacency matrix, absence of edge is represented by 0. Next question, which graph contains self loops? Multigraph. A graph with no edges is called null graph. A graph where each vertex has same degree is called regular graph. In a directed graph, edges are directional. Next question, a graph with weighted edges is called weighted graph. A simple graph does not contain self loops. A disconnected graph means at least one vertex not reachable. Which graph is used in network routing and shortest path problems? Weighted graph. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.